bread of life.
Yeah.
And if they say, this is the form of government you will accept from us, or you will die with your genetically modified seeds, which will not reproduce, then good riddance to you.
Sheesh.
That's what's going on with Svalbard. Okay. We have, what we have going on here, I mean, as a researcher, what I see is this huge cover-up. And to me, it's a tragedy. It breaks my heart, because the simple fact is the people who die in global catastrophes are the ignorant, whether they are intentionally or unintentionally ignorant. When I hear people go, well, I'm going to wait until I see this and blah, blah, and they're making all these validation claims and demands, and that's it. I go, well, okay. You've just joined the ranks of the ignorant. Now, what does that mean? Let's go back to the Sumatra superquake, 2004. What happened? Let's step through this. Who did the dying is what happened. The people who did the dying were the ones who had the money, the cars, the education, the jobs, the houses. Okay? They did the dying along with their domesticated animals because they were ignorant. When the water went out, what were people saying? Oh, Harry, look at the stranded fish. Let's get a basket and have some free fish. I mean, that's what they were doing. Stupid. Looking at it completely. The brains were like, what am I seeing? I can't connect the dots here. What am I seeing?
While the wild animals are running up to the hills. Yeah, that's right.
And the ones that we call the stupid, ignorant, lowly natives. Okay? The ones that have traditions that says, when the great turtle shakes the tree, it's time to get up. I don't care what it is. If it works, hey, you can't knock a win, right? And everyone is out there going, hey, let's get a basket and pick up the fish. While they're doing that, the natives are going, feet don't fail me now, and running uphill. All right? Consequently, the natives all survived, as did wild animals. It was domesticated animals, and those of us who think we're the lords and masters of creation who did the dying. All right? Same thing is coming here. Now, in the United States, have you ever heard of the Georgia Guidestones?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. First commandment of the Georgia Guidestones is keep humanity at 500 million. All right. Which immediately presumes, you'd ask the question, for those of us that are on the wrong side of the decimal point here,
Yeah.
what are we, like 6.8 right now? What about those of us that are on the other side of the decimal point? What does that mean for us? It doesn't mean good, that's for sure. And the thing is that it is, if you need to reduce global population, because the fact is right now, we're consuming 30% more than the biosphere can regenerate. So we're well into an unsustainable system here globally. And it's only going to get progressively worse. And the biosphere is in pain. 90% of the large fishes are gone. Fisheries are dying. Reefs are dying. We have entire areas of the ocean, which we have dead zones. Absolutely nothing can live in them. More of these are happening. The signs are out there for those who are in awareness and want to look at it. What I see happening with the elites is that they're taking a very practical look at this. First off, they're saying, our mission is the preservation of the species. Okay? Species, and the first thing you say when you're going to have preservation of the species, you have to say, well, who is going to be the surviving population?
Yeah, that's right.
And of course, the elites and the corporate leaders and all immediately go, well, you start with us, and then let's look at, the other guys, doctors, lawyers, scientists that we all need for technical support for our own ambitions and aims. After that, you have the greater population. Okay? We're only in the way. In a global catastrophe that's going to unfold as a slow, prodigious, multi-year train wreck of suffering and death, there's only so much resources to go around. There's only so much. And so what you do is if you're able to look ahead, what's coming downstream. and you go, okay, there's simply not going to be enough to support all of the people that are currently alive on the planet, then what you do is you let events eradicate the problem for you. You don't have to say to the world, we killed you. You just say, look up at the sky. That big ugly rock is what's killing you. And that's it. And that's the end of it. But we're not even going to get that message. You know, what I would tell your listeners is you go out and not rent, but you buy the movie 2012. Now, I'm not selling Sony because the movie to me was ridiculous Hollywood science. All right. You don't buy it for the eye-catching graphics. I was in the 1980s, the 89 Loma Prieta earthquake. I look at the earthquake scenes there, and it's like I'm going, wow, this is a 3-line idea. That's 1 line short of 4 lines of cocaine, and typical for Hollywood. But once you do the first pass on 2012, and you get past all the eye candy, okay, then the second time you see it. First time I saw it, I was disgusted. I walked out of the theater, and I wanted to get my money back. But then I thought about it for a while, and I'm being very polite in what I was actually saying at the time. And you don't want to go there. But I thought about it. And I said, hold on a second. What if there's a subtext message here? Okay? Mm-hmm. Something that is going to be easily missed in the theatrical release, but something that will start to hook and resonate once it goes into home entertainment, DVD, theater, Blu-ray. All right? Mm-hmm. When you start watching 2012 time and again, here is the subtext message. It is absolutely prescient. It is so clear. 1, we are on our own, friend. Period. The elites are going to use the knowledge to ensure their survival and the survival of their way of life. Period. And that we are not going to know that they're doing that until we're already dying. In the movie, the only way people come to have even a hint of what is happening is the president finally, out of shame, in the movie, Danny Glover is going, okay, this is it. And he's having his regrets, but Danny Glover got his daughter in the ark. So he's good with that. All America dies, but the president saves his daughter's life at the cost of his own nation. And so when we see this, and we see the only thing that broke this survival impulse of the ruling elites was shame. It was the only thing that could stop it. It was the only reason why they said, even the people that were in the other arcs that got destroyed and the folks that were building these things for us, okay, the guys really shamed us. We're going to have to share accommodations. Oh my gosh, there goes first class. And, they let them in. All right. And so you have this where these are the people saying, we're the survivors and you're not. And so the message is, if we rely on our governments and we rely on world leaders, we're fools.
Yep.
Period. And that the real wisdom in the movie, there's one scene where a little Chinese grandmother says something to me that was one line that redeemed all of the scientific nonsense in the film. She just said, we're all children of the earth. And that's really, if we're going to come through this as a species, that is the consciousness that we need to have, that we are all children of the earth. Because the thing that I am learning in our research is that we can mitigate this, and in ways that elites who are materially driven and have absolutely, I don't care. They can sit there and have their holy schmoly ceremonies in the churches and they get sanctified. That's nonsense. Spirituality is how you express your love. It's what you do for others. That's what it really boils down to. And we are all children of the earth. and we're not alone in this. We got to a point in 2008 where we